Hello everyone, my name is Prachi and I am here with a new chapter, Factors and Multiples. So again let me tell you, this chapter is specifically done for the grade 4, but those who are seeking basic concepts of factors and multiples, they can go through this video. Now before we start the factors and multiples, we must understand what are factors. Factors of number are the numbers that completely divide the number. Okay, let's see what are we saying with this. Let's take example of 8. Okay, 8. Now to find out which numbers can divide 8. So the numbers that can divide 8 are all factors of 8. So as you know, let's see, smallest number we know is 1, isn't it? Like after the 0. So that is 1. Let's divide 8 by 1. And you know, every number is divisible by 1, isn't it? So 1 times 8 is 8 and you get 0. So complete division, or we can say the number is completely divided when you get the remainder 0. Okay, so that means 1 can divide 8 completely, and that's why 1 is factor of 8. Now as a matter of fact, 1 can divide any number, and that's the reason 1 is a factor of every number. Okay, so while writing factors, do not forget writing 1. Always start the number with 1. Now 1 times, how much is 8? 1 times 8 is 8, right? So let's see the next number now, that is 2. So is 8 divisible by 2? Yes, you know the table of 2. 2 times 4 is 8. So yes, it is divisible. Any other number? Is it divisible by 3? No, you know the table of 3. So it doesn't come in the table of 3. Then 4 we have already written and 8 we have already written. So let's write now the factors of 8 we received. That is, always start from the left hand side and then go to right hand side. So 1, 2, 4, 8. With the help of this technique, you can write it like in ascending order. So when you write from left to right, you automatically go from ascending to descending. So this is how you got the factors of 8. Let's see one more example, that is 18. Suppose we are supposed to find the factors of 18. You get a question where you need to find the factors of 18. So as I told you, 1 is a factor of every number. So don't forget writing 1 times 18. Okay, 1 times 18 is 18. Then apart from that, 2, let's see the next number 2. So 18 is a even number and every even number is divisible by 2. So 2 times, how much is 18? 2 times 9 is 18. Next number is 3. Is it divisible by 3? Yes. 3 times 6 is 18. And next number is 4. Is it divisible by 4? 4 times something? No. It is not divisible by 4. Then 5? No. 6 we have already written. Then 9 we have already written. And 18 also we have already written. So by this method, you can automatically find the next side of the factors. We can say, we can like from here to here, isn't it? So let's write now the factors of 18. Factors of 18 are 1 from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 and 18. So these are the factors of 18. So this is how you must write the factors. Okay, now let's see some of the important notes, important points that you need to remember about the factors is smallest factor. We have already discussed it, as I told you about 1. So smallest factor of any number is 1. Okay, you can take any number, its smallest factor will be always 1. So, and the next is its greatest factor, or you can call it largest factor, is always the number itself. Number itself. You can see that in finding factors of 8 also we ended it with number itself 8. In finding factors of 18, we also ended at 18, which is the number itself. So smallest factor is always 1 and greatest factor is always number itself. Always remember this. Now let's move towards our next topic. Our next topic is chain splitting method or prime factorization tree. Many books uses this name, chain splitting method, and many books use the prime factorization tree. Both have the same meaning. Both are the names of same method. Now let's see how to find it. Again, let me tell you, the name itself indicates factorization tree, prime factorization tree. So we are finding the factors here. But which factors? We are finding only prime factors. Okay, we are finding only prime factors. Let's see now how it works. So for example, 50. We need to find the factors of 50. Okay, so always with this method you need to start it, because we are finding the prime factors here. You need to start with the smallest prime factor, that is 2. Okay, so you need to split 50 into two factors. One of the factor is 2. So 2 times how much is 50? Correct, 25. 2 times 25 is 50. Now we received this 25. Now is further, can it split into factors like in which like there is a 2? So can this 25 divisible by 2? No, it's not divisible by 2. So we need to check the next prime factor. After 2, the prime number is 3. So is 25 divisible by 3? No, it is not. So let's move towards the next prime factor, that is 5. So is 25 divisible by 5? Yes, it is. 5 times 5. Now some of the schools says that you should stop this chain splitting method when you receive the prime factor at the other end. So you can stop here itself, or there is a one more thing that you can do is 5 is again can split into 5 and 1. So you can stop it at 1 also. Okay. So it's like, it's easy to remember. Whenever you get 1, you can stop. So you can use any method whichever your school suggests you. So if your school is saying stop where you receive prime factor, so you can take this as a prime factor, and then from the left hand side these. Okay, so this is how you can take, or else you can also take all the prime factors by when yes, definitely when you end it at 1. So whichever factors you receive at the left hand side, those are all your prime factors. So let's write now what are the prime factors of 50. So we can write like 50, and the prime factors are 2 times 5 times 5. Okay, by both the ways you will find these factors itself. How to check it? 2 times 5 is 10 and 10 times 5 is 50. So this is how you can find out the factors, prime factors of 50 by chain splitting method or by prime factorization tree. Now let's move towards the next topic. And our next topic is common factors and highest common factors, that is also called as HCF. So I took these 2 points separately because in grade 4 you may also get questions like find the common factors of following numbers. So in that case, so we are utilizing both the things for the same concept. So let's see some of the common factors of number. Let's take example. Find the common factors of 16 and 24. Okay, so how to find it? By listing method. Let's list the factors of 16 first. 16 is equals to, as I told you, always start with 1. 1 times how much is 16? 1 times 16 is 16. Next is it's divisible by 2, isn't it? Because it's 16, it's divisible by 2. So 2 times how much is 16? 2 times 8 is 16. Is it divisible by 3? Is 16 divisible by 3? No, it's not. Let's move to the next number, that is 4. 4 times how much is 16? 4 times 4 is 16. So after 4, check with a 5. Is it divisible by 5? No. 6? No. 7? No. 8? Yes, which is already written here. And then the next is 16, which is also already written. So let's write the factors of 16, which are, as I told you again, from left to right. Okay, bottom right. So it's like 1, 2, 4. 4 is already, it's getting repeated here. It will get repeated in many numbers. So you don't need to write it again. Once you write 4, that is enough. 8 and then 16. So these are the factors we receive for number 16. Now let's check for 24. Okay, so 24. Again, as usual, we'll start with 1 times 24. Then is it divisible by 2? All the even numbers are divisible by 2. So yes, 2 times how much is 24? 2 times you can check by division and you will find the answer. 2 times 12 is 24. Now is this 24 divisible by 3? 3 times how much is 24? 3 times 8 is 24. Let's check it by 4. 4 times how much is 24? 4 times 6 is 24. Is it divisible by 5? That is the next number. No, it's not. It's not divisible by 5. Is it divisible by 6? Yes, it is. 6 times 4 is 24, but we have already written it. And rest all the numbers we have already written. 8 times 3, 12 times 2 and 24. So let's write the factors of 24 now. 24's factors are 1, like this. Okay, 1, then 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12 and 24. Now our topic is finding the common factors. Let's see which are the common factors between these two. 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 8, 8, then 16 and 24, no, nothing. So these are the common factors. So if I write it here, which are the common factors. This is how you must show them, okay? Write common factor, write equal sign and then write 1, 2, 4 and 8. So these are the common factors between 16 and 24. So if you get a question, now you can write that this is how you can find the common factors between two numbers. Now here is the entry of our next topic, that is highest common factor. So to find the highest common factor also, you need to do these many steps. Like to find out their common factors first. After finding the common factors, then you are supposed to find what is the name indicates? Highest common factor. So out of these factors, common factors, which is the highest now? Yes, exactly. 8 is the highest common factor of 16 and 24. That's it. This is our highest common factor. So we can write like HCF. This is the short form which is used in some of the books or some of the places. It is also said GCF. That means greatest common factor. Both have the same meaning, highest common factor or greatest common factor of 16 and 24 is 8. Okay, so 8 is the highest factor or common factor which can divide 16 and 24 both. Okay, so this is how you can find out the common factors as well as the highest common factor of any two numbers. Let's take one more example of finding HCF or GCF. So 20 and 36. If we need to find the highest common factor or common factors for that matter of 36, isn't it? 20 and 36. So we need to do it by again the same way. Find the factors of 20 first. Okay, so we all know 1 is a factor of every number. 1 times 20, then 2 times how much? 10. Correct. Is it divisible by 3? No. Is it divisible by 4? Yes. 4 times 5. Is it divisible by 5? Yes. And we have already written all the numbers then, 5, 10 and 20. Okay, so we have received the factors of 20 are 1, 2, 4, 5, 10 and 20. So we received these factors of 20. Now let's find the factors of 36. So 36 again we'll start with 1 times 36. Then 2 times how much is it? 36? 18. 3, is it divisible by 3? 3 times 12 is 36. Then 4, is it divisible by 4? Yes. 4 times 9 is 36. Then 5, is it divisible by 5? No. Is it divisible by 6? Yes. 6 times 6 is 36. Now 7, no it's not. 8, it's not. 9, yes it is, and that we have already written. Rest all are already written. 12, 18 and 36. So I can write here the factors of 36 we received are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and you don't need to repeat the numbers as I already said. 9, 12, 18 and 36. So let's find the common factors. Common factors of 20 and 36 are 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4, 5, no, 6, no, 9, no, 12, no, 18, no, 36, no. Okay. So this is how we got our common factors. Common factors. Common factors are 1, 2 and 4. Okay. Now if the question is find the highest common factor. Once you receive their common factor, it's very simple to find the highest among this is 4. So HCF of 20 and 36 is 4. That's it. Very simple. So both the concepts are done with this small method. Now our next topic is multiples. So we have finished factors. Let's see what are multiples now. So multiple is nothing but a product which we get by multiplying one number with another, or we can say product which we get by multiplying two numbers. So that those are called multiples. And let's see now, for example, multiples of 5. Okay. So 5's multiple. So it is nothing but basically the table of 5. Multiple is nothing but table of that multiplication table of that number. So you already know what is the multiplication table of 5. It starts with 5 times 1, 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 6 is 30. And so on. We can write it as much as you want because it will never end. Not even at 50, because after 50 you get 55, which is also divisible by 5. Okay. So we have seen now all these numbers which we write as their multiples, they are all divisible by the 5. They are all divisible by 5. So this is what our definition says, that multiple, for example 10. 10 is a multiple of 5. So 10 is the product which we get by multiplying what? 10 we get by multiplying 5 with 2. Isn't it? So you got two numbers, they are multiplying, and the product is nothing but our multiple. So this is what our definition says. Now let's see another example, that is 3, for example. Okay. So 3's multiples are again table of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 and so on. Okay. So these are the multiples of 3. It's very easy to remember. You just need to write their multiplication table, but do not forget to start with the number itself. Okay. So this is how you can find out the multiples of any number. So before we move ahead, let's see some of the important topics, important notes about the multiple. So important note is, you can see that I have written here like dash, dash, dash. That means as much as you want, you can write. So our first point is, the numbers can have uncountable, which you cannot count, uncountable multiples. You can keep on writing. Okay. So every number has uncountable multiples. Then the smallest multiple in both the example, can you see it has already started with the number itself. So smallest multiple is number itself. Like we have seen in factors, smallest is 1 and largest is number itself. Largest factor of the number is number itself. Just like that, we have smallest multiple is number itself. Then in case of another important note is, multiples of given number are completely divisible by the number. As we have already discussed, the third is multiple is completely divisible by number. Okay. So we have seen here all the numbers like 5, 10, 25, 20, all are divisible by 5. Then in case of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, all are divisible by 3. So these are important points of multiples, that you have uncountable multiples of every number. Then you have smallest multiple is the number itself. Then multiple of every number is divisible by itself. Okay, so these are some of the important points that you should remember about multiples. So on this basis you can get some smaller multiple choice or 1 mark question in which they will ask you check whether the given number is multiple of let's take example that will be more clear. They may ask you to find out whether 122 is multiple of 7. You need to find whether 182 is multiple of 7. So one of the property which we have seen about multiples is the multiple should be divisible by the number. So very simple, how to check whether 182 is multiple of 7 or not? Divide the number by the number they are asking, that is 7 here. Okay, so 7 times how much is closest to 18? Yes, 7 times 2 is 14. So 18 minus 14 is 4. You get the next number down, that is 2. 7 times how much is 42? 7 times 6 is 42. 42 minus 42, 0. So when you get 0 as a remainder, that means you can say that 182 is completely divisible by 7. And as 182 is completely divisible by 7, yes, so you need to show this working, okay, even though it is a rough work, but you need to show it to show your teacher that yes, you divided and checked whether 182 is a multiple of 7. So show this, and then below you can write that yes, therefore you can also write like therefore 7, or we can start with therefore 182 is multiple of 7. Done. So this is how you can check whether the given number is a multiple of the other number they have asked in the question. Now let's see the next topic. Now our next topic is common multiples. So again, just like last time, we are covering 2 points over here. Sometimes in exam you may get questions like find out the common multiples, and the same concept is again utilized here, lowest common multiple also we can find out by the same method. So let's take example. Suppose you get some question like find out the common multiples of 4 and 12. Okay, so we'll be finding, to find the common factors, common multiples, we need to find the write the multiples first, isn't it? So let's write 4's multiples are number itself, always start with the number itself, 4, then 8, then 12, then 16, then 20, 24, 28, and you can write as long as you need, 32, 36, and then you can write like so on. Okay, next is let's write the multiples of 12. Okay, multiples of 12, always start with the number itself, 12, 24, 36, 48. Okay, as it is a little bit bigger number, we don't need to write because we are not going to find the common factors before, like after 48 or something. So you can like again so on, put the dash and show it. Now let's find the common multiples. So the number, it's like name itself says, you need to find the common ones. Let's see. So first I can find this 12. Then is there anything else? Yes, there is a 24, there is 36, there is 36. So I found common multiples. Common multiples are 12, 24, 36. Okay, so if you get a question like find the common multiples, this is your answer. And now our next topic which can be used here is lowest common multiple. We need to find the lowest common multiple. So we got the common multiples, and the next step is which is the lowest one amongst these. You found these 3. Which is the lowest, smallest? Yes, 12. So lowest common multiple or LCM of 4 and 12 is 12. Very simple. So we have found out the lowest common multiple. To find out the lowest common multiple also, you need to write their multiples, just like how we have written here multiples of 4 and 12. Then find out the common multiples of it, that we got 12, 24 and 36. And out of which we need to find the lowest one, and the lowest one here is 12. So LCM of 4 and 12 is 12. So this is how you can find out the common multiples as well as the lowest common multiple. Now let's move ahead. Yes, our next topic is even, odd, prime and composite numbers. So we have used these terms while finding out factors and multiples of numbers. So let's see which are even numbers, which are odd numbers. You must have learnt in your lower grades also that what are even numbers. So we can write it like even numbers are the numbers. Even numbers are the numbers whose ones place. We all know what is ones place. Ones place has 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8. You know, all these are one digit even numbers, right? So if any number whose ones place has these numbers, they are called even numbers. For example, 24. So in 24, ones place has which number? Ones place has 4, and it is one of the even numbers here mentioned, isn't it? That's the reason 24 is an even number. Let's see which is not somehow. 25. So 25 has 5 in its ones place, which is not the part of even numbers here. So that's the reason 25 is not even number. Very simple. Then what are odd numbers? Odd numbers are the number whose ones place has 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 in their ones place. Okay. So odd numbers. So if, for example, if you get some number like 23. So 23 has 3 in its ones place, which is the part of our list. So yes, it is an odd number. So basically ones place has odd number, the number is odd number. For example, let's take 29. So 29 at ones place we have 9 here, okay, which is odd number. So 29 is also a odd number. Prime number. Prime numbers are the numbers that have only 2 factors. Okay, we have seen now how to find out the factors, and we got factors of many numbers. So we are prime numbers are the numbers. What we are finding here is they have only 2 factors. And which are those 2 factors? 1 and itself. Only 2 factors. Okay, for example, if I take 17. Okay, you know 17 is not part of any multiplication table other than 1 and 17 itself. Right? So it doesn't come in any other table than 17. Isn't it? So we got the factors of 17 are like 1 and 17. Same thing for 11. 11 is also not part of any other multiplication table than 11 itself, and 1 it is divisible by like you can divide any number by 1, isn't it? So here also you can find out that they have only 2 factors. These 2 numbers have only 2 factors, that is 1, which is common in every case, and next factor is the number itself. So such numbers which have only 2 factors, that is number 1 and number itself, are called prime factors. Right? Now the next term we used here is composite. Now all the numbers except prime numbers are all composite. So it is exactly opposite, which have at least more than 2 factors. More than 2 factors. So we have seen every number has at least 2 factors. So even though it is a prime number, they have minimum 2 factors. So we need one more factor to make it composite. Let's see example. Suppose 4. What are the factors of 4? As 1 is a factor of every number, 1 times 4, then 2 times 2. Okay. So 4's factors are 1, 2 and 4. Isn't it? So we got one more factor. So like we have three factors, then it is composite. Let's take one more example. Suppose 6. So 6 has 1, 2, 3 and 6. Okay, so these are the factors of 6. You can see they are definitely more than two factors, and that's why 6 is also a composite number. So I hope now the terminologies are all clear. Even numbers, odd numbers. Let's see once again even and odd numbers. So even numbers are the numbers which one's place should have these numbers. That is 2, 4, 6, 8. Right? Then odd numbers are the numbers whose ones place has 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 and at their ones place, and they are called odd numbers. So prime numbers are the numbers which has only two factors, number 1 and the number itself. Composite are the numbers that have at least more than two factors, and they are then composite numbers. So I hope now the terminologies are clear.